How's it going, guys? My name is Ethan Newton, assistant baseball coach at the University of Hartford, and I'm here with Figure It Out Baseball today to talk about one of my favorite drills. It's called Sudden and Deep. I'll explain the setup of the drill, and then I'll show you a couple reps, and then I'll go into what the benefits of the drill are, some things that could maybe troubleshoot your swing, meaning address some things that might be slight flaws in your swing, and also potentially show some things that a hitter might do well in their swing. Okay, so let's get started. Again, this is called Sudden and Deep. All right. Now my setup, I've got my tee here. Obviously, this is the drill that can also be done off of front toss. But for the purpose of introducing the drill and getting familiar with it, good to start with the tee. Now, I don't want to necessarily set up completely perpendicular in the box to how I would normally stand. So I'm going to be slightly staggered. Maybe think about having your chest facing the left shoulder of the pitcher to kind of give you a good idea. I want to be in my heels and have a good foundation. So if I turn sideways so you can see here, this is about how I'm going to be set up. Again, thinking about being in my heels. And I'm almost in a position where if I was to do a squat, I'd be in a good position to do that. So if you think about your base for doing a squat in the weight room, that's about how you want to be for sudden and deep. Okay, so I'm here, slightly staggered. I'm in my heels. I'm a little bit behind the baseball, so I've got some room to operate and use some space back here. Okay, from here, I'm going to coil up. All right, and this is a modification of what I call the launch position. I'll get into that a little bit more in a second. But in this position, I should feel some stretch and some tension across the middle of my body here. So I'm coiled up, and from this position, I'm ready. I'm in a spot where my next move is going to be to release the swing or to launch the swing. So it should look a little something like this. All right, I'll do one more. Good base, good foundation. Chest to the pitcher's left shoulder. Coil up. Release. That one was much better than my first one. My first one, I got a little bit of a roll over to shortstop, which is perfect. Next one, I made a little bit more of an adjustment, and I got a line drive to center field. Now let's talk about some of the benefits of sudden and deep. The first thing that it addresses is what is called extension through the baseball, which I did a better job of on my second rep. So the reason we set up here in this position is it's going to force us to emphasize finishing out front. If you get here to contact and you kind of pull out early or just let that top hand take control and finish early, you're going to get right-handers are going to get ground balls, rollovers to shortstop or into the 6-hole, which is between like third and shortstop. Lefties the opposite. You're going to get rollover ground balls to second base and in the 4-hole between second and first. So this drill really is going to emphasize the hitter at contact, getting extension through the middle of the field. Our cue that we use for this drill, and a lot of the times we use with our hitters, is to try to hit a line drive over the center fielder's head. Now, unless you're an extremely, extremely gifted hitter, you're not going to be able to do that with this drill because of the constraint that you're in put here, but that gives you a good focus point to aim for. And if you get some sort of production in that way, the thing I love about this drill, what the baseball does is your feedback. That's all you need to know. Rollover, ground ball rollover to the left side for righties, right side for lefties. You didn't accomplish what you were looking to do with this drill. Line drive to center field, you're good. You did what the drill is looking to accomplish. The other thing that this drill, more than anything, it's guys who do well with this drill immediately probably do these next two things I'm going to explain well. Guys who don't, this is something that this drill is going to address. Because I'm in this position, guys that are able to create early bat speed and get on plane earlier are going to have success with this drill. And I'll explain what that means. So, this is my modified launch position here in sudden and deep. If I turn and get to my launch position how I normally would in my swing, shoulders facing about towards the second baseman, maybe the first baseman if I'm a little more coiled, I've got all this space back here to get my bat head going and to get it traveling on plane with the pitch. On plane. Pitch is coming in slightly downhill. If I'm matching that plane but going the opposite direction, that means that I'm able to get my bat head traveling slightly uphill. That's on plane. So guys that don't do that well, maybe they attack down at the baseball, maybe they loop and come upwards, up through the baseball, are going to struggle a little bit. Guys that can get that bat head leveled out and get it traveling upwards in the same direction that the pitch is coming downwards, probably going to have good success. Guys that can create early bat speed, you have a shorter distance to get that bat head going. So guys that create early bat speed well are going to do well with this drill. Guys that don't might struggle a little bit, but that's what the drill is intended to address. So, why is early bat speed important? Well, the later that you can release your swing, the more time you have to make a decision. And in hitting, that's everything. So guys that maybe it takes them a little bit more time to get that bat head going forward. Maybe the barrel's wrapped a little bit. Maybe their hands start higher and they get into position as everything else is happening in their swing. They have to make their decision to swing at a pitch earlier than a guy who can get to a good launch position here and be able to get that barrel going quickly, suddenly, and deep in the zone, which is where the name of the drill, sudden and deep, comes. So again, I'm in my heels, coiled up, got to get that bat head going early and getting on plane early. From contact, I'm not done yet. I want to have good extension and finish my barrel traveling on plane back through the middle of the field. One thing that I do want to point out with this drill, we're not trying to emphasize or encourage just staying and spinning on the backside and getting here and saying that the front foot doesn't matter. If you notice, when I did the drill, this left foot came up off of the ground. I want to be clear, that's not a forced action. That's a byproduct of me just getting a good release back through the middle of the field. Okay, for guys who are just beginning with this drill, if that doesn't happen for you, again, the baseball is your feedback. You still get a good line drive to the center of the field, and you're able to accomplish that without that front foot coming up off of the ground. You've accomplished what you need to with the drill. For me, that just allows me to operate athletically. All right? Again, that's sudden and deep. I'm Ethan Newton, assistant baseball coach with the University of Hartford, here for Figure It Out Baseball. Thanks for your time.